Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. What up, Faith Room? Come on in the room.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Come on, y'all. What's going on? It's a winning Wednesday. Pastor O, what's happening, man?
Nothing much, sir. Looking forward to hearing the man of God as he speaks today. Looking forward to some good nutrient for my soul. Soul food, I guess we could say. Some good soul food for today.
Absolutely, yes, man. Absolutely. Y'all listen, I'm out of town, and if my Wi-Fi starts tripping, listen, guys, we're gonna pray against that right now. But if we do go off, that's because the Wi-Fi where I'm located it's been tripping. So we're gonna pray against that. We're gonna pray that God gets us through, and we're gonna have a good time in the room this morning. Come on in, everybody. Declare your day. Pastor O is in the room with me. Elder Cherie is on the move this morning, doing some things with staff and with St. Luke, and so we honor her in her absence. Elder Cherie, our co-host, who has done a phenomenal job. Pastor O, what a gift to the body of Christ. So, Elder, I hope you're having a good time and praying for your safe return. She will be back with us on next week. And so we're going to hold it down. Pastor Kedrick has some connection issues. He's going to be coming back in as well on this morning, our facilitator. So, guys, we're excited today. There's a blessing in the room today. My brother, my friend, Pastor Broderick, Connesero, Memphis, Tennessee, by way of Compton, California. And so I'm excited that he's in the room today. Go ahead and let's just pray against any technical issues.
Yes.
Declare your day. And then let's begin to share the broadcast. Pastor O, what's going on in your world, man? Tell me something good, brother. What's happening, man?
You know what? What's really good, man, is it's as if God is bringing everything together.
Yes, sir.
This piece that we've been talking about pertaining to, the choices that we make, I really see how God uses our choices to take us to the next level.
Absolutely.
What would have happened to me had I not chosen to connect with you?
Wow. Come on, man.
So those choices, and then I look at that, just that connection alone has now propelled me into such a thought process now.
Yeah.
That everything in my life is coming to a place of alignment.
Come on, man. That's good.
Can I say this? And this is real.
Let's go.
I have not, my wife and I kid you not, it's as if we have, I can't understand it. It's like we're in a season of renewal. It's like a season of where we're just, it's like we're just connecting, we're just clicking. And for a season, she was going into one church, I was going to another church, and it's like, okay, no, God is like bringing us all together, and everything stemmed off of a choice. And the choice really was, I said yes to God. And when I said yes to God, everything once again just began to align itself up. But that's what's been going on with me, man. I mean, there's been such a renewed spirit in this house, man. There's been such a new, it's like another level of commitment.
Come on, man.
I mean, and I know you guys, like you Pascal, I know you've seen me on Facebook where I'm talking about there's nothing better than to see your woman smile, and there's things that I've been saying, but that's because I made a choice to say yes to God. I said yes to connecting to the right people. And so God has just been bringing everything into alignment, all because of a choice. I could have been rebellious.
Yeah, absolutely. Pastor KJ, what's happening, bro? You're muted. I can't hear you. Yeah. He muted, y'all. He coming back in. What's up, y'all? Come on in.
The devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar. Y'all pray against technical issues this morning. We're going to get through this today. Yeah.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Pastor? We're missing Elder.
Elder 3.
Yeah.
Come on, Chad. I got you now,
Yeah,
big bro.
you got me now. All right. Good
Yes,
morning.
sir.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Man, we
Yeah,
good, bro. We
Elder,
good,
Elder
man.
gone, and then everything just break
Yeah.
down. Man, as soon as I logged into the studio, my internet just went down.
Yeah.
So I had to go out and come back in. Good morning. How y'all doing, man?
Man, we're doing good, man. I told everybody that my Wi-Fi where I'm at has been acting up. So we're gonna pray against any disconnect. Because the thing
Yes.
about it, yesterday Cherie was handling the hosting piece. I'm handling the hosting piece today. So if we go dead, y'all listen, don't talk about me too bad. Just log back in when we come back. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm praying against that today. I'm
Yeah.
praying against that today. That
Yeah.
everything's gonna go well today. Y'all, we're at 180 on both platforms. We want to get to 200, and then Pastor Broderick Connesero, I'm going to introduce him. Let's get to 200. We'll start at 200. Once we get to 200, then we'll be able to move forward. And again, I'm so thankful for this platform. Y'all, we have some exciting news coming. The team, God is opening crazy doors for the Faith Room. We're excited about being able to share some things the Lord is working behind the scenes. And I'm excited about what he's going to do in this. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look, y'all see that? Y'all see
Yeah.
that? That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Tag. Share.
That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Jan. Good morning. Renee, good morning to you. Good morning, Kalisha. She said happy fall, y'all. It's a worry-less Wednesday. Come on, girl. Worry-less. Kalisha, I hear you. Appreciate
Another
it.
great thing about September is fall, man.
Absolutely. Y'all come on in. I'm tagging some people on my end. I hope you're doing the same thing on your end. Tag some people in this morning, and we're going to look forward to a great show on today. Pascal, I got to ask you, man, what has been the thing for you, man? What stood out for you so far with these choices, man? I have to ask that, man, before we get into some new content.
Man, I think for me, is that, you know, the first point that you mentioned is that your destiny hinges on the choices that you make.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's powerful, bro.
Yeah. So your now and your future is contingent upon the choices that you make. And even if it's pleasurable for you in the moment, will it be pleasurable for you in the future?
Come on, man. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Absolutely. Pastor O, what has it been for you, man?
I think yesterday pertaining to your choices not only affect you, but it affect generations to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's good, y'all. We're at 203 between both platforms. Let me get my brother in, man. Listen, there are guys who I deem as associates in my life, but then there are guys I deem as friends. And this is a friend. I think friendships, when you use the term friend, man, it's used so loosely today. People don't really mean it. But I can truly say this brother is a friend. Over 12 years, we've connected. We started together in the youth ministry. He was serving there, New Direction Christian Church, Pastor Stacy Spencer there in Memphis and New Direction. I was, of course, in Little Rock at St. Mark. I preached for Pastor Broderick. Man, we've been on the circuit together, building up young people back in the day. Pastor Broderick had a thriving youth program. Of course, St. Mark was thriving in their youth program. We connected, man, did ministry together. God has since, over the years, I want to say the last 5 years, I may be off a little bit. Maybe it's been a little bit more than 5 years. God allowed him to plant there in the Orange Mound area of Memphis, Tennessee. His church now is about 8 miles outside of Orange Mound. So if you're in Memphis, you're familiar with the Orange Mound area. That area needed Jesus, man. And Pastor BC, who I affectionately call him, was able to plant there in the Orange Mound area. The Common, y'all, COMMON, The Common. Go follow The Common. That's the name of his ministry. BC is just a visionary, creativity, innovation. He's been doing that for years. And I'm just honored to know the brother. Been able to preach for him, do leadership training for him. I'm just honored that he's in my life. Now, y'all, let me say this for the West Coast. He's in Memphis now, but he's by way of Compton, California. Born Compton, California, raised up in Compton. And the brother's testimony is amazing. I'll let him tell a little bit about his testimony. But you're talking about real and raw. Broderick Connesero, who's now a senior pastor, man, but his life journey, man, has been so amazing. So y'all welcome to the room, my brother and my friend, Memphis, Tennessee, Pastor Broderick Connesero. Come on, Faith Room, let them hear you. Come on. What up, PC?
Yeah, I just have to say I love the last name, man. It sounds so gangster.
Yeah, Connesero. Yeah, Connesero. Yeah, man. BC, man, it's good to have you in the room this morning, bro.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Listen, BC, we're talking about choices, man. Again, if we have any technical issues, man, we'll just log back in like we do. Ain't gonna be no big thing. But man, I could not think of a better brother to bring in, man. First of all, thank you for your friendship, man. Thank you for being a part of my life, and of course the pandemic, and man, we all are kind of doing our thing now, trying to push through this, man. But you call me when I need you, I call you when you need me, or I need you, vice versa, man. But thank you for your friendship. And man, yeah, man, we're talking about choices, Broderick. And man, when I look at your life, bro, I look at a brother who, man, you had, Compton, California. Choices were before you back in the day, man. God just changed your life, man. Your testimony is amazing. So I just wanted you to come in the room this morning, man, and help us, because some people are just going the same way, just same stuff, same decisions, same pathway.
Right.
So, man, I'm going to release you today, bro, just to talk about choices and how we can get back on track, man, and how we can do those things. And your life is an example of that. So, man, I'm not going to give you no script. Do what you do, BC. Welcome to the Faith Room, bro.
I appreciate you bringing me in, and to everybody, good morning. I think when I look, Nate, when I look at my life, I realized that a lot of my choices were affected by three things. I was able to make bad choices because of my own personal doubts about God. My second reason for making bad choices was I denied what I knew about him by way of word, by way of relationship. And in the process, I kept betraying, you know what I'm saying, the fellowship. I kept betraying the relationship that I was supposed to have with him. And so once I started addressing my doubts and my denials about him and what he says about me, my choices started to change.
Yeah.
When I look back at my life, I was what they were. My grandfather was a pastor. He was the first. He put the Bible in my hand, and
right.
So at the age of 10, here I am, little short dude carrying his briefcase, following him from church to church, and so I was exposed to God. You know what I'm saying? Young,
yeah.
But there were a lot of, as I grew, I had a lot of doubts about, could he use me? Was it me that he was calling? And a lot of times we make the choices that take us from God because we doubt what God is really asking us to do or be. And so when we deal with the doubts, it allows us to begin a process to making better choices. If you think about it, for me, and I'll try to tie in my past with this conversation. When I used to do my thing in the streets, I didn't doubt the ways of the streets. And so my choices were clear every day.
Wow.
I knew to get up. I knew to get up at 9 a.m. and I knew to be on the block. And I knew that from 9 to 9, I needed to be in a place and not move from there to see the money I wanted to see. And there was never a day when I doubted that. And what was crazy about it, and God helped me see it, is that with all of the danger that surrounded me from 9 to 9, I never doubted that corner and what I was going to get in the end of each day. And so the challenge came to me from God is how do you walk with me and still have doubt, but yet you can stand on a corner for 12 hours and not be afraid.
Come on.
Mm.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And so
Wow.
it began there for me to deal with the doubt. Now you can take that doubt thing and further explore the fact that with doubt comes the reality of denial. Because when I was put in or put on the game, my relative told me the particulars to how to handle the business.
Talk,
And,
man.
and so once he told me the business, there was no denying that I had taken what he gave me and was willing to apply it daily. And so
Wow.
the denial aspect came with my actions because how I swapped and how I moved was all based on what he instilled in me. And
Come
so,
on.
and God being God, he helped me to see that I had this way of looking at life and it was fearless. There was no doubt, there was no denial that would, as we would say on Harris Block, whatever the OGs told me, that's what I went with. And that was because I believed in it enough that you would never see doubt on me, and you couldn't deny that I was a part of or connected to my neighborhood and the people who brought me
Wow. Wow. That's powerful, B.
in.
That
So
is
Cat, go
really,
ahead, Cat. I saw you shaking your head, Cat. What was it for you? Go ahead,
man,
man.
it's just the, how he breaks it down is that, he did not have doubt of what was told him when he was working his thing in the streets. And it's amazing how we fail to translate that to God
Mhm.
and the church, and the word. We can believe all this other stuff, but when it comes to believing the word, how do we translate that? So that's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
absolutely, man.
And
So
so
go ahead, Pastor B. Go ahead, man.
yeah, and so it's like for me, I started looking at choices through that lens. And so when my choices were poor, the hard truth I had to accept is every poor choice was a reflection of my act of betrayal toward God and whatever it is I knew or whatever it is He gave me to live by in
Come
my
on.
faith. And so because we'll do this, we will we will constantly live in moments of betrayal towards God, and we don't want to acknowledge that it's an act of betrayal. You know what I'm saying? We
Wow.
want to minimize it, or we want to simplify it so that we're justified in our behaviors and our actions. And
Wow.
so the other part for me was being honest about my choices that went against him as acts of betrayal. And
Come
so
on,
for
B.
a person in the street, the reality is you never want to be known as one who betrays. You know what I'm saying? There was a saying back in the day for dudes that kind of flip flop, they called them transformers. And so it's like what a transformer was a dude that came from one neighborhood and moved to another neighborhood and became whatever that neighborhood was. And so
Wow.
when he went back to his old neighborhood, in the eyes of his old neighborhood, he betrayed them. And a lot
Talk,
of us
man.
choices, not realizing that when we leave our past and go into this new thing with God, you got to be okay with the fact that you betraying that past life. And
Come on, B. Come on, B.
a lot of us would rather betray God than betray our past.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
Transformer.
yeah,
Mm.
Set Hopper. She said, Lay Reed said, straight up Mark.
yeah,
Set Hopper.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Man,
and so, the reality for me, like I said, going into my faith walk, is that God had to use those things to help me better understand why my choices needed to be in alignment with His desire.
come on, man.
You know
Come
what I
on.
and for many of us again we want to walk with God based on our preferences. And again, when I go back to my past, the game didn't allow me to live that thing according to my preferences. That thing
Yeah.
had a way I had to be. It had a color I had to wear. It had a way I had to operate. it had
Talk, man.
I had to it had a way I had to dress. And so my preferences went out the window the moment that I affiliated or associated myself with it. And what happens in our faith walk is that we would rather make choices that we prefer. instead of realizing that when we came into this thing, there was a way he wanted it to be.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Wow. Wow.
Everybody from the streets, y'all getting this, right? Y'all getting this. Y'all see the analogy he making.
Yeah.
Connesero,
Somebody say you speaking to me, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you were saying that when somebody was a transformer, it's not necessarily that they wanted to transform, but they had to in order to survive in the new neighborhood they were in, pretty much, right?
Exactly. That's what ended up. Most of them, I'll never forget the first time I met a dude that would have been considered a transformer. He had to in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? He had to survive. And the unfortunate reality for us, though, like I was saying, as it relates to our faith, is that a lot of us don't realize that in this thing with God, we gotta die. We gotta
to live.
We gotta die to live.
Golly.
You know, and so you had some in back in the day who, before they would transform, they would throw down their flag. They would just walk away from the life. And again, it's that reality with God that he says to you and me, throw down the past, and you ain't got to worry about whatever neighbor. Because again, when they would come into the new neighborhood, if you go ahead and acknowledge that you no longer a part of this, then you might get a pass.
Come on, sir. Come on, man.
You might get a pass. But to do that, you got to be, again, trying to tie in this whole faith thing, you got to have the faith. You got to believe that this place you in now is where you got to be, and where you are requires you to no longer carry whatever it is you brought in. And by faith, you have to drop it. And then have that mindset that whatever come, gonna come. But I refuse, you know what I'm saying, to betray where I came from now that I'm in this new place.
Golly.
Woo!
Y'all getting this? I'm looking at some of the comments. Sheila said, you have to die before we live.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. Somebody say you preaching. Y'all, I'm trying to get, y'all know I'm so caught up with the word. Cherie be in these comments. She can flow and do all that. Y'all pray for me, because I ain't got all that movement.
Yeah.
So Pastor Broderick, man, listen, you grew up in Compton, California.
Yeah.
So, man, tell a little bit about your testimony, man, because the streets, man, that was your life, man. And you are a senior pastor now, doing amazing things, man. I've been knowing you for almost 13 years now.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, man, where you've come from, bro, and what was the driving force with the shift in your whole life. Your whole life shifted, bro.
Yeah. So here's the sad part of my story. The choice I made to be gang affiliated and to sell dope, I didn't have to make that choice. Like I said when I started the conversation, my grandfather literally raised me in the church. And so I knew God's way. I knew the righteousness of God. I just chose not to follow it. And so I end up getting connected, because what happened was, and I'll just be, this is the funny part of my testimony. Y'all don't judge me. But I started the whole dope dealing thing because I had a crush on a girl that only dated dope dealers.
Wow.
So,
say that again.
Wow.
I said my choice to sell dope was because I had a crush on a girl that the word on the block was she only dated dope dealers. And so I made the choice to get away from what I knew was right, because I wanted to have something with a person that in the end, y'all, I never even had anything with. I went out of my way to try to be this thing, and in the end, it wasn't even enough.
Good.
And so my story starts in that way, to where I grew up knowing what I knew, but I chose to follow after something or somebody that didn't even want me. And that goes to the reality of us in our journey with God. A lot of us chase after things that don't even want us.
Hold it. Connesero. Hold it, Doc.
We do it. We fall victim to the ways and the people that don't even really want us because they occupied with their own stuff. They dealing with their own desires, their own needs. They looking for the next, that next move. And so here you are chasing after them, and they not even paying you no attention. And so for me, my journey started with a choice to try to be with somebody that didn't even want to be with me.
That didn't want to be with you. Wow.
And so in that, it was this pursuit then, once I got in it, to just see how far I could take it. And so then I made the choice to say, okay, I'm going to do it. And I remember me and some friends, I did it with the hopes that now the desire wasn't to get the girl no more. The desire was, well, I want to be like Diddy. And so I'm going to give me a record label. So we're going to take this money, we're going to flip it, and we're going to go after this thing. And so now what you watching come out of me, this practice of idolatry. And because here I am chasing everything but God. It was in a girl. It was in Diddy. It was in the music industry. And again, everything that I was chasing didn't even want me.
So the girl, was she in the dope gang with you, or she just one of the girls from the block?
She was just a girl from the block. She was just a girl from the block, and the reputation was, if you want her, you got to be selling the rock. You got to be in the game to get her. And so
she didn't want you. But she didn't want you, BC.
No, in the end, you know what I'm saying? And she took, and so here go the crazy part. Everything that I had, she took. Once I got in the game and did my thing, whenever I stopped, and the first time I'll never forget, when I made my first big flip, I went and bought a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, white, with the black leather seats, with the Vogue rims and the laces. And I pulled up at her house. And that was my moment of establishing that I wanted her. And she sat there, entertained me, but you got to remember, she never really wanted me.
Wow. So your flip, now when you say flip, because everybody in here and grow up in the street, when you made your first flip, that means what? Now that means when you made your first 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah, just made a profit, made enough profit for me.
He said he can't divulge everything, Nate.
Yeah, made enough profit for me to go in this car, put sound system in it, put rims on it, tires, and walk away from the car lot. You know what I'm saying, with the pink slip.
That's good, man. Now, BC, people ain't gonna believe the testimony, man. But you shouldn't even be here, man, if the world had something to do with it.
Correct.
Tell the people, man. Tell the people the real. Now, everybody in here, BC, everybody ain't grow up in the church. What makes the faith room so powerful, Pastor O? We could be 100 in here. Tell everybody, man, the real story, Doc. That 12 years ago when we first connected and you told me, it still sends, because, bro, you shouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. So,
man.
Yeah. So my story, again, it's a true manifestation that God is God. In my time of selling dope, I had 3 guns pulled on me, and in that time of selling dope, all 3 times the guns jammed. The first time that I got robbed in a hotel that I sold in, and the guy we knew the guy that ended up robbing us. The second time I was on the block in Memphis. I was in Memphis because I went from California to Memphis on my little hustle. And so my first month in Memphis, I had a young dude on the block just come out of nowhere. You know, I'm new to the city, trying to, holler at a little female, and I ain't even paying attention to my surroundings. And a little young dude just walked up and robbed me. And he messed around, and him walking away, he was one of them low down dudes. He walked away and started pulling the trigger to just kind of walk away and shoot me, and didn't none come out. And so then out of that, though, those 2 incidents it didn't wake me up. It didn't move me. It didn't shake me. But the one that got me was the third time that the gun got pulled on me. And I was in a an apartment that I sold dope in. And a guy that I knew through other associates was just there one night with me. He had stayed in the spot with me that night. He was somebody that I knew well. And I used to have his gun that it was my little pride and joy. And so I always kept it with me, I always kept it out. And
Come
so
on.
one particular morning, he he just was like, B, let me see the gun. I love that gun. Da, da, da. And so again, me just in the moment trying to it's early, it's about 6 in the morning. I'm counting down, trying to get out of there so I can go to sleep. And I slid him the gun and he looked at the gun and then he turned the gun on me. And
Wow.
and when he turned the gun on me, from there, it was just this whole. It was a weird moment, especially because I'm a California dude, so I'm like totally just blown away by the moment. And he um, he stripped me. He had me to strip down naked. He hog tied. He had me get in a tub, and he hog tied me. And once he got through hog tying me, his plan was to again pull the trigger. Now the gun that he had was my gun, and I need y'all to understand that gun don't jam. It ain't the kind of gun
Wow.
jam on you. And in that moment, hogtied in the tub, that man went to pull the trigger and made three clicks, and not one bullet came out. And it scared him that he ran out the apartment because I should have been dead.
Y'all hear this? I just want that to sink in, man. 3 times. Y'all hear this? The gun jam.
Yeah.
So Broderick, was that the defining moment in your life, man? What was the moment of choice that you said, and Oris and Cad, y'all jump in,
Yeah.
that you said, bro, I got to do something different? Was that the defining moment?
So that was the first series of events that would happen that brought me to the moment. And so when that happened, that was in December. And it was the month of December. And I literally had a series of events that just came back to back. And so I got robbed. Um, I had friends and associates from California who was trying to get product to me that couldn't get it to me. I had a bunch of friends get arrested in the process. Um, and so I end up going through what they call in the game a drought. And so this drought lasted for about 4 months. And so I'm still trying to maintain and live my normal life, but I'm steadily spending, ain't nothing coming in. And so by the fourth month, a friend of mine, and the crazy part is he's my brother-in-law now. Me and my brother-in-law was talking about robbing somebody, but we understood in robbing him that we was gonna have to probably take his life. But we had got to such a desperate spot in 4 months that we didn't care. And so we got in the car to go to the dude's house and rob him and do whatever. And it started raining. I'm talking about like cats and dog rain. And the car that we was in was a Chevy. And we was driving up, it's a street in Memphis called Shelby Drive. And we was rolling up Shelby Drive. And every 5 minutes the car would stop. Now, understand the plan, we had to be at his house by a certain time to catch him walking in the house. From where we left to when we got to his house, the car stopped every other 5 minutes. By the time we pulled up at his house, he had walked in. And so whatever we thought we was gonna do, we missed our window of opportunity. And so from that, that was another event. And so by the end of that, I got to a place where I lost, you could pretty much say I had lost everything. And so I ended up going to stay with some friends, because I just needed somewhere to go so I could figure out what my next move was going to be. And on this particular night, I had a girlfriend who was in church. And I remember being mad at her because, you know what I'm saying, church girls, they had a particulars where they, want to be real sanctified. And then they got that, you know what I'm saying? They got that moral. And so it was like me and her could do what we did for days, but she wasn't gonna let me live with her. And so when I was going through the situation, I looked at her figuring that she'll let me come stay with her. And she was like, nah, you can't live with me. I can't do that. And so I'm mad at her. And again, a friend of mine was like, well, B, you can come stay with us. And so I come and stay with a friend and his girlfriend and they baby. And my first night in their apartment, the girl is making dinner. And what she made was Tostino pizza and Roman noodles.
Boy, tell the story, Broderick. Give us the details, boy.
Now, keep in mind, I had never ate a Tostino pizza and Roman noodle in my life. And that girl cut that little Tostino pizza into 4 so that me, the baby, the boyfriend, and her could eat. And she gave each of us a bowl of Roman noodles. And when I looked at that, that was my come to yourself moment.
You was in the hog pen.
I flat foot walked out the apartment. I went outside and I told God, whatever it is you want me to do, I'll do it. In my life, I ain't went back since.
No, wait a minute. Can, listen, Can. It wasn't the gun put on him. It wasn't the guns. It was a pizza, bro. It was.
They dying laughing, Doc.
The pizza and the ramen noodles, that did it, bro. He was in the hog pen.
It wasn't the guns. It was the Roman noodles, bro.
It was
Broderick, they dying laughing over here, boy.
food. The food. That's all God had was take the steak away. When he took the steak away, I was done.
Woo!
I was done.
It wasn't the guns, bro. Oh man.
Y'all, Faith Room, y'all got it. So Broderick, that was a defining moment for you, man. You made a choice.
Yep.
To get out the game, man. Okay, do you ever have that pull? Did you have that pull? Because here's the problem, man. And y'all just straight gangsterizing me today. Is that a word, gangsterizing? You know, Brod, I tell people, if you grew up in the South, man, we are enamored with the West Side because the West Coast, because, man, all of the gang banging and stuff. And then when I met you, you talking about being hog-tied, pistol whip, you know, guns jamming. Bro, that wasn't my thing, man. You know, but to hear it, man, to be around people, man, who been, man, what's the pull to go back? The choice you made to get out, was there a pull to, because man, just because we get saved and, you know, we love Jesus, it doesn't mean that the choice to want to, because the whole theme this week is, why do I keep going this way?
Yeah.
Did you ever want to get back in the game when money got tight, when, you know, when you said flip, right? I got a new word, flip it, baby. Because the only thing I knew flipping houses, dog. But you hit me today. You gangsterizing me today, doc. So flipping money, was that ever a pull on you to want to go back, man? What do you say to the person who's coming out the game, whatever it may be, and then that fight to want to go back?
Here go the crazy part for me. It was easy for me to walk away from the game. It was like once I walked away, I was done. My struggle with God became the practices that were a part of the lifestyle. So the sex, you know what I'm saying, the drinking, the wilding out part. I had to deal with that with God because that was my stronghold. It was like walking away from the dope situation was easy. It was like once I got to that place and I said, God, here I am, send me. I was done. But once I got in this walk of faith, I started looking at the residue from the habits and the practices of the lifestyle. And that's what I was struggling with. That was the thing that I was entangled with. It was those things that support that lifestyle, that support that culture, that I had the hardest time breaking from.
Man.
I had to, again, that's when God dealt with me on the whole denial and doubt aspect of my life. Because it was like, okay, you can line up with this, but here I am asking you to do this, and you doubting me and you denying me.
That's crazy, man. Can you answer a few questions, Rod? They come in. You okay with that, man?
I can. Yeah.
All right. And Cad, Oris, y'all jump in, guys. Pastor O, read this question, man, from Gina Lou, man.
All right. When others' choices and decisions make you angry, sad, or depressed, or just leaving you drained after being with them, cause they backslide at times, but you want to support their change, what do you do?
Well, I think you got to define. I think you got to be clear that you can't, supporting them does not mean co-signing.
Yeah, that's good.
You can't co-sign. You know what I'm saying? You can't co-sign with somebody who's backsliding. You can't take this, non-aggressive, you know what I'm saying, kind of approach in the faith walk. It's got to be very clear. It's got to be understood. Again, if I'm looking at life based on the tree in front of me, if I'm looking at it like Eve, then what I got to understand is this thing ain't what God has for me. And I just got to be honest about that. And anybody who's walking with me, they got to love me enough to tell me, don't touch that tree.
Right.
You supporting me don't look like you standing there like Adam and quietly watching me partake in something that you know is going to bring a curse on my life. That's not support. That's not support at all.
Come on, man. That's good.
That's accessory. You know what I'm saying? That's accessory to murder. You know
Come on.
That's accessory to murder. You letting me kill myself. You're not supporting me.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
So Pastor, check this out. Now, you talked about how you were strategic in how you operated in the game, right? So how were you able to take the way you practice in the game and translate it to how you begin to walk out your life with Christ? And did you begin to make those choices strategically, and see Jesus as that old school on the block who's teaching you everything, or did you go to older believers, mature believers to help you begin to navigate your new walk?
So when I first started, I was real independent, and so everything came from just my understanding of God. So to your first statement, yeah, Jesus was the OG that I listened to. What I realized though is that because of my immaturity, a lot of times I was confusing what God was meaning, because of how I was feeling, and what I mean. There would be things that God was speaking over my life that because I didn't have proper understanding, I would try to make my decision off of a feeling. And that feeling oftentimes was deceptive, because if anybody truly knows God, they know that God is beyond our feelings. And so again, tying it to the lifestyle that I came from, there was never a moment in the game where I went off of a feeling. I operated on what I knew.
Wow.
Come on, man.
And so what had to happen for me was that I had to be honest about this walk with God and realize that my feelings mean nothing if I don't have true understanding. And so the ability to change my choices required me to have a true understanding of what God wanted from me. And in him being who he is, he's never got a problem with articulating his desire. We just have issue with listening to what he has to say.
Wow, man, that's good. Here's a question, BC, and Pastor O, I'm gonna let you jump in. This is good, y'all. This is a real, again, one of the good things about the body of Christ is that, man, everybody didn't come from the same walk, man. Everybody's testimony not the same.
Nope.
You've been in church all your life. Some folk, it ain't been that way. And I believe I've been called for people like Broderick, like people who I've been called to everybody, but don't get me wrong. But I think it's people like Broderick and those who have been in struggles in life that people are quick to throw them away. But look at what 3 times y'all the doggone gun jammed on the brother, man. And you here for a reason, bro. And you're gonna reach people that others in the church who got the Bible real close, they'll never be. This talk, this gang, and these links, you done captured the room. People who from that style of life.
Yeah.
You know, so Brittany Chambers wants to know this, Brian, and I think this is a good question, man, because I think so many people deal with it. What did you do to overcome your desires to continue to participate in behaviors that were associated with your past self? What did you do, bro?
So I had to change. I had to change my mentality. Again, when you come off the street and you come into church, you are very independent and isolated because the paradigm that comes from that culture teaches you not to trust anybody. The walk in Christian community requires you to trust both the God and the people of God. And so what I had to learn the hard way was that for me to come out of my past behaviors is that I had to trust the community of faith to walk with me. And what that looked like was accountability. What that looked like was discipleship.
That's it.
And in the process of that, I was able to start releasing those things that seemed hard for me to let go. And so in that, I was able to let go because I had people in my life looking at my life and saying, Broderick, where you at with this? Broderick, what are you doing with this? And that caused me to become accountable and responsible for this thing that was my faith. And so as long as you are not making the choice to do community, because, we live in a time where everybody wants to be spiritual. And everybody talks about spirituality, but they don't talk about community. Spirituality will make you break away from the faith and community and try to figure it out on your own. And what we do know about God is that God never intended for us to walk alone. If it was such a great idea to be alone, then Jesus wouldn't have recruited 12 other people. And so we have this cultural idea that we can better ourselves by ourselves, and that's a lie. The only way you come out of your past, the only way you deal with the strongholds mentally is that you have to go through Christian community. You have to. And that's what I did. And it was the best decision I made.
Wow. Yeah. You muted, Nate.
Nate, we couldn't hear you.
Sonia Gavin, I'm gonna go to her question.
Yeah.
Can you read that statement though, Cad, right there, man, on Jamila about her son?
Jamila Chapman said, my son needs to hear him, man. All my nights are sleepless due to his choices. He is only 18 and I'm trying to save my son from these streets before it's too late.
Oh, can I say something to Jamila? Is that her name, Jamila?
Yeah.
Jamila, let me tell you the thing I learned in the aftermath of me being with the Tostino Pizza. What I learned was that my mama and a deacon from her church started praying 4 months before the series of events happened. And the two of them touched and agreed in the house of God and asked God to shut it down. And that's when the drought kicked in.
Wow. So
again, it's the community aspect. She couldn't just pray for me by herself. She had to find somebody to be in covenant with so that thing could have the necessary essence and power to rectify my problems. And so while I'm up here thinking that life is just being life, I found out later that my mama cared enough to touch and agree with somebody, and that thing got shut down.
You helped some mothers right there.
Bro.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead, Pastor O. Jump in here, Doc.
Because what I'm seeing is how you started, your foundation. What caused you to go from a Christian foundation as a young man, as a young boy, what was laid, the foundation that was laid in you, what changed? What caused you to say, okay, then I want to be like Diddy. I want to have this money. I want to have the girls. I want to have the. What was that? What caused you to think in that manner? What was missing, per se, that made you say, there was a foundation that was laid that caused you, and you and I talked about this behind stage pertaining to loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, and so what caused you to go from, I'm not going to be loyal to my foundation, to go to something that was so empty, meaning nothing or meaningless, that really wanted to take my life out?
So most Christians did a horrible job of promoting their faith. They were horrible brand ambassadors. And so it was easy for me to find the lifestyle more appealing than Christianity. It didn't matter. It didn't matter how it just didn't matter to me. Let me say it this way. They didn't show enough conviction in their walk with God to move me. And the difference was the people in the street had conviction. My homies that raised me, they had a conviction for the neighborhood that we were from. They were willing to die for it. They were willing to wear whatever color for it. They were willing to go to a party and represent it. And everybody that I saw of the Christian faith was ashamed of it. They
Golly.
strong enough. They wasn't good enough. They wasn't powerful enough. And I'm walking around with killers and drug dealers that feel like they can own the world like Tony Montana.
Come on.
And Christians talking about God ain't done with them yet. Who wants to choose that?
My goodness.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow.
Hey, Broderick, that's good. I was going to ask this question from Lay. Go ahead, Kat, and I'm going to jump in with you. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You good.
So you're saying that because believers are not functioning at a high level of conviction,
Come on.
and not marketing, if you can use that word, Christ the way he should be marketed, we actually could be, that may be the cause of us losing young people in the church.
Yeah, because again, they move off of conviction. They just don't call it that, but they literally operate from a place of conviction. I'm moved by your conviction.
My goodness.
Everybody that gangbang, they subscribe to the idea because somebody is convicted with whatever neighborhood or organization that they represent, and they wear it and carry it well. You know what I'm saying? It's like don't, it's always hope in it. You know what I'm saying? Even as bad as their circumstances are, they got more hope than most Christians do.
Golly.
My goodness.
You muted. You muted, Nate.
My phone, I'm getting so many inboxes and questions. Somebody want to know this, and I see Lay's question. Pastor, how do you get people from the life to see? How do you get people from the life to see that a Christian is not a perfect person, but a person who's trying to do better? That no matter how bad a situation gets with Christ, it's still better than the situation on the other side of error.
Okay.
So how do I clarify that?
So for me, this is something that I stand on as the pastor of the common. Anybody that you want to reach on the street, you can't reach them until you have a relationship with them.
Come on, man.
Amen.
Can't draw them in and not have relationship with them.
Come on, man.
And what relationship will do is it'll show them the stuff that you're trying to say. And relationship will sometimes take away the burden of trying to figure out the right words. A lot of people on the street, they just want to know that you care. Because again, that's the alluring aspect of the street. The street, while its purpose is to hurt them and destroy them, the street knows how to sell them on the idea that I got you.
Yep. Yep.
and it's all based on relationships.
No reach without relationship. Lisa Pruitt. No reach without relationship. That's good, Lisa. Lay said a lot of street folks don't have a Christian foundation or a praying mama though. What do you say to a person who didn't grow up in church and only knows God when they're in trouble?
That's a good question. I think for me, and I can only go off of past experiences. And I started the way that I just ended the last statement. Those individuals that keep making mistakes, if I know you and I know that you struggle, then my first draw to you is to be in such a relationship with you that through my relationship I show you that God ain't worried about your mistakes. And so for me, that's the conversation. That's the relationship is my conversation. And I don't know if that's the perfect answer, or the one that'll just hit that spot. But for me, when you're dealing with a person who struggles with their mistakes, you gotta go in understanding that in their reality, it often comes from the fact that they don't know what God's expectation is.
Wow.
And so my relationship allows for me with you to talk about two things. And this is what I do with people. I ask people who come off the street, what is your expectation of God? And then my second question is, what does God expect from you? And so from those two questions, I'm able to form a conversation that allows for me and you to stop looking at your mistakes and start looking at what it is you need to be doing for the sake of, growing or being what it is God wants you to be.
Wow.
That's a good question to ask coming in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you answer that, Cadrick? How would you answer that question regarding people who didn't grow up in church that Lay had posed about people who didn't grow up in church, didn't have a relationship with God, no praying mama.
But they only call God when they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And as he stated, when you have a relationship with them, you can challenge them. Right. Relationship. That relationship, because I have a couple of people I've discipled, man, who grew up in that life and it was all around them and it still pulls on them today. And so I can always at one point challenge them, but at the same time, I can let them know that grace is real, but you still have consequence for your choices, right? So it takes the relationship, and I like Victoria's question because I have a backup question for that. Victoria asked a question: how you feel about church girls now? Because all of them don't roll like that. Some of them let you stay at the house, right? And then I want to ask: Did you marry the church girl that you was hollering at when you came out the game?
Man, that's a whole other conversation. It still comes down to choices. So what's crazy is the person who told me I couldn't move in our relationship, we got engaged. And this church girl took me into the church and I started doing my thing. And we decided that we were going to be celibate. And we started publicly dating and the whole nine. We didn't do no private, we tried to do kingdom dating. And we had one encounter where we found ourselves in the heat. And I made the choice. I'm talking about in the heat, right there at it. All you got to do is turn the knob. And I made the choice. And I said that I can't do this. And that girl cussed me out and said, what the F you mean we can't do it?
The church girl.
The church girl.
You done got her hot and bothered. That's why you got it.
The church girl.
You're not turning.
She was in the church girl.
I'm sitting in the bathroom, y'all, on the toilet seat, crying to God. And she walked in there standing over me and just go in.
Oh my goodness.
The church girl cuss you out.
But that's a whole nother,
We'll talk. Katina. Hey, fam said, Katina said, not the church girl.
Yeah, the church girl.
Oh boy.
Man.
Broderick, let me say this, man. I want to do a couple of things before you go, man. You know what? I'm enamored with this. Y'all get in that car, Doc. I'm going back. You know I'm such a preacher.
Yeah.
Man, y'all were gonna kill that dude, man. Y'all were gonna kill that dude. That rainstorm, he got in the house before. Well, y'all were really going to take that brother out, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, we was on our way. We had made up our mind that this where we were. The choice was in the moment. That was our choice in the moment. We was in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
We was in survival mode, and we jumped in that car, hit Shelby Drive, and God made it rain and made the car shut off every 5 minutes.
Nate, interrupted choices.
That's the
Totally.
sermon right there. That's the sermon right there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Man, I talk about this all the time, man. If you've never been in survival mode, don't ever say what you won't do.
Yeah.
That's true.
You got brothers out here now, man, with felonies on their record. They can't get a job, but yet if they don't pay child support, they going to jail.
Yeah.
So I think we got to be careful. Yeah. You know, we just got to be careful in how we nurture people, disciple people, man. There got to be a better way. But don't ever say what you won't do if you're in that. I ain't going to never.
Bro.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Play with it if you want to deep with your deep self.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Be like that church girl.
Lord help us. Lord help us.
Yes, Lord.
I want to do this, man. Broderick, we want to sow into your life. Every day I give people an opportunity to sow. I want to do this, though. Everybody, we have over 300 on now. Y'all can't see the YouTube numbers. I can. We're over 317 now. 318, 320 right now on both platforms. 320 are live. Want everybody to sow a seed if you feel led. I want to be a blessing to Broderick. Also, I'm going to do this. I want to pay this Friday. I want the Faith Room to pay a car note for the month of September, or even if you paid September. If you're behind on your car note, I want you to send me in the inbox. I want you to send me your proof that you're behind on your car note. I can't pick everybody. I can't. I need proof. I need proof that your car note is behind. Y'all hear Pastor Nate? Well, don't play with God. If you know, listen, I need proof. If your car note, thank you, Jesus. I feel led to take what you sow and to bless somebody's car note. And if I can get you caught up, I'm going to do that. So I want everybody to sow. And then on Friday, we'll sow again. And I'm going to announce whose car note you all help pay up. You know, because I've been there in my life. In Faith Room, we give to give back.
Amen.
All right. We give to give back. We give to give back. So I want to do that. Also, here's a big announcement. Tonight, one of my partners at Greater Life wants to sow 4 Padres tickets to 4 women. Now, he specified ladies. Now, I'm going to tell you, these are good seats, and it comes with free parking. All right. I'm going to go on and ask them, because when I go to the game, it's usually the first baseline, or it's where you can actually see the players without having to do this. You can actually, they're real close. I'm talking about the seats are typically 8 to 10 rows from the field. If there are 4 women, now you got to get in the inbox. The first one's in the inbox. Pastor, I want the tickets. You and your girlfriends tonight. All right. I want y'all to go to the game tonight. 4 tickets tonight with parking. So y'all can ride together, but you got to inbox me. You got 4 women. I got 4 and we ready to roll. All right. All right. Y'all need to hit me up in the inbox. First ones I can get in there. Latoya Andrews, I see you. I don't know. Send me an inbox message. And these are good seats, y'all, with parking. And one of my partners wants to be a blessing to 4 ladies. 4 tickets, 4 ladies. Get your girlfriends, and we'll be a blessing for you. 4 tickets. 4 females. He specifically wanted the ladies to go and enjoy the game tonight. Who the Padres play tonight? I don't know who the Padres even play tonight. Who they got tonight, y'all? Who the Padres got tonight? Even remember. All right. But inbox me now. If your car note is behind, you can inbox me, man. Friday, I want to be a blessing and pay your car note up. I want to pay your car note up. All right.
Yeah.
They
clarified.
Yeah.
They clarified to make sure you send that card note verification to the Faith Room inbox.
To the Faith Room inbox, yes. Faith Room, the Faith Room. You inbox the Faith Room, and we'll see that. Your car note is behind. There's no way to live. And again, y'all, we can't help everybody. They play the San Francisco Giants tonight. All right, the Giants are in town. 4 tickets, 4 females. I'll check the inbox. I'll have my team to check it. They're going to decide, get you the information. I don't really have nothing to do with that. Even the Cash App stuff, I have a team. They do. I'm just blessing. All right. I just sold my seed for the car note this morning. And y'all, I'll never tell you to do what I don't do. I tell my church all the time, when you get that giving statement, I need to be at the top of that thing because I'm the leader. And so I never tell you to do what I don't do. The facilitators never tell you to do what they don't do. The co-hosts, we're people of our word, man. And so, Broderick, I love you, bro. You have helped so many people today.
Appreciate it. And
y'all, Broderick's so cool. He's always been that way. He one of them smooth gangsters, boy. He's just, yeah, you know. Yeah, but man, give us a charge for the day, man. Give us that one-liner, man, that we can take with us today. It's a charge and nothing long, but what's the takeaway today? What would you want us to do?
Be clear about the expectation that God has for you.
Be clear. Let me do the Sharif, or they won't be talking about it. All right, here it is. Let me do it. Be clear. Y'all type it in. Be clear about
the expectation that God has for you.
That God has for you. All right. Hashtag the Faith Room.
All right.
All right, Broderick, man, I appreciate you so much, man.
And thank y'all for letting me come on.
All right. Hold tight, bro. Don't hang up yet. Okay. All right. Let me make sure this is right. All right, I'm adding this in there. All right. I ain't fast.
Cad, it's the noodles for me.
The noodles. It's the noodles.
Bro said he got his first glimpse of prison food. He said, "No."
This was so good. Yeah, Renee said this was so good. Yeah, Renee. How can they follow you, Broderick? Somebody want to know, how can they follow you, man?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Broderick PB Connesero on Facebook, and 645 is my face. No, Broderick has to be for real is my Instagram.
All right. Broderick Connesero. Ain't too many Conneseros out in these streets,
Right.
so y'all just
We the last of the dying breed.
yes, sir. All right, y'all. We are the Faith Room. Tomorrow we'll be doing a Throwback Thursday. Throwback, Pastor Cab, Pastor O. We're gonna do a Throwback Thursday.
Throwback
Thursday. So tomorrow we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna get a facilitator to break. I'm gonna have a break. Cherie's already on break. We just gonna let y'all tune in same time, and we're gonna take y'all back to the cell phone day and let y'all see where we started from.
Okay.
And where God has brought us. So we have some exciting stuff coming, y'all, to share as the Lord releases us to share. But the Faith Room, I'm telling you, it's touching lives all over the country. We love you. Be encouraged. Make better choices. Your life is not over. And we believe that God's best is yet to come for you. We are the Faith Room. Real people, real concerns, getting real solutions. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the morning. Peace.
Peace.